Welcome back, everyone. I hope wherever you are watching this series on elections 2023 in Pakistan, wherever you are, we hope everything will be fine. And this is the first episode of the series, and I'm pretty hopeful that this will give you a good insight overall into the political condition in Pakistan right now, a little bit of historical, not the historical, near past overview, and what to expect as we enter into the season, which is elections 2023. So we start with uh, two stats that, as per our understanding, will define the entire runoff to the election and the outcome, the way things are. And the first one is very exciting. So one thing that is very important is the voters' age distribution. As we enter into 2023 season, almost 46% of the voter will be what we call the young blood. Less than 35, enthusiastic, determined, ready to make their stakes on the change, and that we will discuss throughout this process. And then we move to the second graph, which shows the party position, and the entire red dominated is what we call PTI, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. It is led by Imran Khan, the ousted Prime Minister, and he is in the center of news while he was in office, and since last 8 to 9 months, since he was deposed from his office, he has been center of attention worldwide, and we will try to gauge this phenomena. And then the rest of the parties which have historically led the democratic process in Pakistan, the two arch rivals, PMLN, Pakistan People's Party, uh, led by late Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto, now by his son Bilawal, who is now the foreign minister. Then we have PMLN, that is by the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, his brother Shehbaz Sharif, and Nawaz's daughter, which is leading the new wave of PMLN, Maryam Nawaz. And then we have the religious in the form of GUI. These are the religious parties. GUI is one of them. However, it represents the religious vote bank. Then we move to who to look for. Uh, Down we start with the religious fiction. Maulana Fazlur Rahman. He is what we call the master of doing the hardcore politics using the religion very precisely, and he is in the coalition right now, along with the Pakistan People's Party. That's the son of late Benazir Bhutto, Bilawal, the dynamic. He's the young foreign minister for Pakistan, the center of attention worldwide and internally as well, because what they control is an entire province, the Sindh, and their popularity, their growth, their grip over the politics, that is unmatched out there. Then we have Maryam Nawaz. She joined actively after her father was deposed, and after that, she has been the symbol of revenge, vengeance, and she's very vocal, comes forward, and then we will discuss their personalities one by one. And then we have Imran Khan. He leads Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, the young lot, uh, claiming to bring the change totally against everyone from America who conspired to oust him, to the establishment and the static forces in Pakistan who fear that he is too honest. These sort of things. This evolves around his uh, um, his popular appeal, and it's gaining strength, it's benefiting. He's riding the waves right now. Uh, he has redefined the way politics has been done in Pakistan, but we will come to its individual characteristics. So you have to keep an eye on these things. Maryam Nawaz is leading the revolutionary voice for PMLN. However, the problem is there is a lot of divide between their uh, party's policy, different power blocks, and what she represent. It goes into silence after a few months. Then it comes back with a lot of appeal, a lot of promises, and then again there is a moment of silence. So, in terms of her political capital, she's able to attract, holding the legacy of her father. However, there's a lot to be done. Bilawal, well, he has a firm grip over the political space that has come to him as a legacy. He's young, he's dynamic, and he has come forward with some popular appeal, but on ground, it's a far cry. His father still holds the key, he is trying to weigh in, but that effort is very modest. It is something special which is required. Now we come to Imran Khan. Imran Khan is right now the most popular, and that is his, what you call it, his entire scheme that sells among the masses. He is able to change his position, uh, like any good strategy. It seems like he is drawing the chessboard in a manner that he outplays his foes. It's not moral every time. There are a lot of things which are in contradiction. There is clearly his self-centric ambitions that drives the entire line. However, there is no denial that he has changed the way politics is done and put everybody on the back foot. So let's move. Now we land on to the political science landscape of Pakistan, the traditional, which is the three power centers: the executive, the parliament, and the judiciary. And we will try to take a round of it in the present circumstances. So, in terms of the executive, it is an absolutely flawed relationship which we have right now. The prime minister comes from the coalition, Mr. Shehbaz Sharif. The president comes from Imran's party, Dr. Arif Alvi. So there is absolutely two different poles, north and south, pulling the powers toward each other, and things are absolutely in a very different phenomena. Although through this you can see president is more toward a ceremonial thing, but the bottleneck is there. The president holds powers which are very, very vital, being the supreme head of the armed forces, and his role in the judicial process as well. And that really puts him into a very strong position. So, right now, the executive, which is the coalition government, and the president, they are involved in a tug of war, which is really disturbing the entire atmosphere. And then we come to the parliament, which is the legislature, and the most popular party, which we saw with some 80 plus percentage of following. It is out of the parliament right now because when Imran Khan was ousted through a democratic vote of no confidence, he opted to leave the parliament, so he's virtually not there. It's a semi-empty parliament, which is, you can say, 99.9% dominated by the coalition, which was earlier in the opposition, now in the government. So it is a ceremonial thing that is there, but still it is there intact, and it is working whatever it is capable of. Although uh, outside force from the opposition led by Imran Khan is really, really pushing it to the limit. Then we move towards the judiciary, yeah, which is the law of the land in Pakistan. Now, judiciary has at present a very aggressive stance towards the government actions, and earlier when Imran Khan was ousted, again it had a very proactive role in reversing some of his actions which were aimed at derailing the process of VUNC. That was a clear aggressive stance by the Supreme Court, and again right now it is playing a very proactive role in dictating the, the government actions, because they are being checked on every step. Sometimes it's a good call, sometimes it's very grayish call, especially in the province of Punjab. A few of the decisions, they change the entire atmosphere of the province, which is the largest province from where the power generates, and that remained the biggest problem for the sitting government, which is made of the coalition, because they were unable to capture Punjab owing to some very confusing judgments that came in later. The judiciary itself tried to elaborate over the matter that there were some shortcomings. Then you always come across one thing which is called the establishment. Now, what is establishment? You ask any person in Pakistan, and he will start pointing fingers in every direction. So I'll make it very simple for you. There are some established offices, yeah, which are permanent, very key organs from security, from other segments, civilian segments as well. But they're like the flag bearers of the ideological roots. Now, Pakistan is a very different phenomena. In a country in the Europe, it's the secularism and the constitution, which is mutually agreed, that works through the way, and that serve as the guiding principle in a country like Pakistan, just as the case in Iran. The element of ideology stemming out of a religion or a belief, that really makes it a tricky situation. Now, the interests can sometimes collide with the ideology, so there is a permanent setup which drives the thing in the direction which are somehow long term, somehow towards national interest, somehow towards the reality de facto. So that is what establishment. There is no one person. There can be some person who is more influential in that establishment, but overall it is the entire apparatus and different rules which act as the establishment, and they always had a key in Pakistan history. Right now what has happened is that Imran Khan succeeded in 2018 election because he was in the ring with his hand untied while everybody else was blindfolded with hands tied to the back. Either they were in jail, either they were under corruption charges, either they were under immense propaganda machine. In any way apart from him, there was no one noble or virtuous in Pakistan. That's how it worked. So uh, that silent push enabled Khan to capture 2018 like never before. He was never capable under the normal circumstances to do this sort of progress. However, it happened because there was virtually everybody was uh, thrown out of the ring just to accommodate him. And then what we have, owing to this experimentation, its fallback. And the fallback, we will discuss why there was a fallback, because it revolved around a single person, his inspiration, his revenge, his admirations. It was all revolving around him, and soon it became clear that things cannot move like this. It will become a South Korea, or sorry, a North Korea pretty soon, or a Libya from before Gaddafi, before Gaddafi's demise, something like this. So it didn't put its weight behind anyone. It just stopped supporting, lending that unconditional support to Imran Khan. And what happened? Within a few months after he tried to overturn the entire security establishment politics, which he failed. So what happened? The establishment just did what is constitutionally its role, and that is to remain out of politics. And that became a problem, that their return to constitutionalism is the main grudge Imran Khan has from them, and that's why unconstitutionally they are being called to revert back to the rule which is basically unconstitutional by favoring one party like he was favored in 2018. The entire phenomena revolves around this thing, the relationship between Imran Khan and the establishment at present. So that's why anybody who understands what underlying message of Imran Khan is, that is an unconstitutional message. And by portraying them as enemies within their own boundary, it is totally, uh, it has totally changed the landscape of politics in Pakistan. They cannot be relieved uh, of the due share in the problems in Pakistan. However, their position post, not post towards the start of 2022 was the original role, and that is revert back to the security role, no other role. And that has what has been targeted by Imran Khan, linking this move to actually a silent support to the opposition, which was actually not the case. The undue support to Imran Khan was taken away, and that changed the balance. You had 13 parties on one side, which democratically removed him, and then they are in power. But when they are in power, Khan is doing politics which is absolutely unlawful, and we will touch each and every aspect of this. And then we have the social media. This phenomena in 2016, 2017 American election, it was there at the center of everything, changing opinion. In Pakistan, it has arrived late. Right now, it is on in full bloom. He who captures or he who holds the narrative of the social media somehow holds the pulse of the public. This is what is happening, and this is where Imran Khan and his party, being young, technology driven, are totally outpacing all the other parties and the state itself. That's what their key is. That in social media there is no platform, there is no credibility which is at stake. It's just a channel which transmits something randomly, claims which spread like fire, and before there's a clarification, it has already set the minds of millions who have followed it. So that's what the problem we see on ground, that even unlawful thing like attacking the police in uniform becomes a call of uh, true salvation, or like a lawful duty of the masses in nationalism. So these are the things which are happening. Then we arrive at the phenomena which is called Khan, Imran Khan, and around whom the entire politics of Pakistan moves right now. So, just to say, the guy is a celebrity. He has ruled the heart since 1990s. He is an icon in terms of his own persona, in terms of his own achievement in charity and other matters. When it comes to politics, he has been very controversial. Yeah, never on the map, hardly winning one or two seats. Then by 2018, his not 2018, by 2015, his call for free and fairness, rule of law, totally dissolved under the cover of what is called the establishment. So he got the silent push. That push allowed 80% of his inner circle to be populated with people were who were the stereotype feudals, have always ruled against the subjects, and then they became his knights, and they all won. By 2018, they got into the election. But during that time, he has built up his narrative by uh, making it a fight between evil and noble. So anybody who was on the other side, which was the PMLN and the PPP, they there was no place for him to compromise now. Once he has assumed the role of the PM, which is the patron of the entire country, that totally changed, because he had gone too far to now do anything which is called a compromise, not a compromise, but a sane playing field where you start building the country. So that never happened. That narrative, that venom need to be boiled up. And that's what he did after he came to government, putting everybody in jail, doing everything, media getting shot in Islamabad, uh, people getting kidnapped, every sort of thing. Uh, Maneuvering within the parliament, clearly people with majority losing while it came to the vote, knowing that invisible hand was at play. So he did everything out of the book and then justified it with it is something that needs to be done because it's a fight that cannot be lost. It will be just as true. And then things started emerging, which is the reality. Those close to him, they were doing the same which has been done from the last 75 years, and that was corruption, misuse of power, his left, right, and center. There were scandals like anything, moving up to his own house, how things were misreported, his 300 Canal estate, how the papers were regularized, although it was an illegal allocation, then gifts from tycoons, other frontmen of some key family members who were doing everything out of the law in Punjab. Everything was there. And he was on a rampage, putting everybody in jail while his persona became so rebellious and vibrant that they were changing some permanent features of Pakistan policy, like relation with the Arabs, relation with America, a lot of things. Very confusing engagement while he's master of spreading his message. You can call it propaganda. Lie, speak a lie, and speak it so fluently that it becomes a normalcy. So these sort of things, mind games. He was doing something which was not mature enough for that role. So instead of devoting his energies to the real nation build up or the repair work which was needed. So from the propaganda, the appetite of the masses was filled while everybody of the opposition was sent to gallows just to get them sorted. And in this manner, things totally went nosedive for Pakistan. There was nothing in terms of economy, foreign policy, long-term stakes. So it was clear writing on the wall that Pakistan's present situation won't continue. It was heading for a big problem. So you see, there is no respite to it, and you see progress. If you want to track it post 2016, you will find the Khan's government at work till 2022 because by 2016-17, the former Prime Minister Nawaz was gripped with some very dubious scandals. Even when he was disqualified, that was out of the box. Nobody supported it because that was absolutely an out of this world decision to send him out of the political landscape of Pakistan. So the first graph that shows the lending, and imagine it was skyrocketing once he was about to leave. And same is the case with the GDP. By 18 PMLN government, it is at top, then the turbulence, then up, then going down. And Pakistan rupee, it was always falling. So there was nothing which has happened in the last 6 months. It is just gain pace because the political landscape has been tarnished by Imran Khan. This is what has happened. Prior to that, they were all in jail. The opposition was not there. Khan was doing. Things were getting deteriorating at a regular pace, but not at that exponential pace. He getting into the opposition, he totally put everything in turmoil, the markets, everything, political unrest, letters being written to IMF on behalf of his provincial government that we are not going to pay anything to you. So virtually derailing whatever was left in the economy, and this is where you find it today. So in the next sessions, we are going to cover more on this election season, and hopefully we will be giving you an up-to-date, very transparent review of the facts on ground. So thank you very much. Look after yourself.